Hi, I'm Charles Luton-Brain, and we're here at the Alberta College of Art and Design in Calgary, Canada. And today's segment is about using a drill bit to drill a hole. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be using a twist bit, an ordinary standard drill bit, which has two tapered chisel-like ends on the end of a rod, and it has flutes, that is, hollow areas to guide any chips and debris away from the place that's being drilled. We assume that the drill bits are sharp. If they need sharpening, we can do that as well. But I'm going to begin, and there are some tips. And the first thing is that we need to have a dent of some kind in the metal in order for the drill bit to catch and drill. And the second thing is that we're not going to drill onto our bench pin because otherwise we end up with a lot of holes. And so instead we will use a throwaway piece of wood to do the drilling onto. So I can make the dent a number of ways, and the usual way is to use a pointed tool like a center punch. I could even use a nail if I rounded it off well. And I'm going to simply place it onto a steel surface of some kind and tap it. And I'm going to just place it on here, and it's a very slight tap. It's not a real heavy blow like that. That's all it needs. And I now have a spot for the drill to catch. Now, the next thing I do is I make sure that it's in the right place. And so I have a look, and if I need to move it, usually we would need to move it once we've started to drill. But if I need to move it, I can move the drill hole some distance using a beveled engraving tool. This is a tool that has a diamond-shaped bottom to it. So let's just begin here. And I'm going to take my flexible shaft, and I'm going to choose a small drill bit. One of the things that we do, whenever possible for accuracy, is to use a very small bit to begin with, a pilot drill. There we go. I've just tightened this with the chuck key, and we've now got a small drill in place. I'm going to place it here and just begin to drill. I just want to see where it is. And I now have a very small spot, and I can inspect it and see if it's in the right place or not. If I needed to move it, I would take my engraving tool, and I can move a drill bit hole up to 2 millimeters in any direction. I'm going to place the engraving tool here, make sure that my hand is not in the way of a slip, and simply maneuver that over, and in this way I have a new drill place. It always helps to use a little bit of lubricant when you're drilling. I like beeswax, but oil will work, and so will silicone materials like burlap. I'm going to place the drill bit into the indentation and drill through. There we go. I don't worry about making a great big hole, and that's our beginning hole. And now I will use a sequence of drill bits to get to the hole size that I actually need. And once upon a time, I was drilling a hole. It had to be perfectly placed. And in order to get this 5 or 6 millimeter hole exactly correct, I used 19 drill bits, one after the other, in order to make sure that it was placed correctly. So I'm going to go into the pilot hole, use the next larger drill bit, and drill through. And the last thing that I do is that when we drill, there's some metal thrown up on each side of the hole, and so I will take a larger drill bit and simply by hand turn it in the hole. That's called deburring, and that removes any sharpness, and it becomes one of the habits that one has. Each time you drill a hole, deburr it, and now you've nothing to catch your fingers on, and the hole is ready for use. And that's about all there is to drilling a hole.